I know I myself have plans to go to the farmer's market. Fall is here. There's plenty of good produce. A little change in some of the produce that might be available to us. Here to tell us more is registered dietitian Danette Peterson from Medifast Centers. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me, Leah.
Let's start with how to find the best produce at the farmer's market. Usually a lot of farmer's markets, you don't have to pick through, bad fruit or anything too much, but how do we get the best that's out there?
Well, the good news is it's mostly local, so you're going to get really fresh things. But some of the things that you want to look for, especially on your leafy greens, just make sure that they're not wilted. If you're looking at harder fruits like a pepper, you want to make sure that there aren't any bruises or discoloration. The better the color, usually the fresher the fruit or vegetable.
I always have trouble with melons. Can I ask you about the melons?
Good question.
Do you knock it? I've seen people smell it. What do you do with the melon?
One of the easiest ways to do it is just look for a melon that's heavy for its size. Like if you picked this one up, it's quite heavy. That means there's going to be more water in there. It's going to be a little juicier.
Okay. What about the items that we're seeing? Because we're past the berries, we're past a lot of the summer items, but there's still a lot this fall.
Absolutely. Now we're getting into our apple season, of course. Minnesota, a lot of really good apple choices. And now we're getting into our squashes. There's so many different squashes out there. We've got acorn, butternut, spaghetti squash. So all of these are coming into season now.
Same as far as picking a good squash.
Again, heavy for size. And then there's a lot of different things that you can do. The squashes they kind of range in calories too.
Oh.
So one of the things that I like to tell my clients is try to find the most nutrients that you can get in your fruits and vegetables. And that's looking for color. And then trying to keep the calories down as well. So, because calories are not all created equal. So what you want to do is, get the most nutrients for your calorie. For example, if you take kale, if you compared that to calcium-wise, a glass of milk, you're going to get a lot more calcium in that kale than you will in milk.
No kidding.
And fiber as well. You'll get more fiber in kale than you will in whole grain bread.
And you were talking about this before. Really, these are all considered superfoods.
They really are. And look for color. Just put a lot of color into your diet, and then you're going to get a lot of variation on your nutrients, your antioxidants. So really, all fruits and vegetables really help make your diet more healthy.
And a few surprises. Some things that maybe aren't quite as predictable as the corn or the tomatoes. A few surprises this fall.
Yeah, so branch out a little bit. A couple of things we have here. This little squash is called a patty pan squash. And it got its name because people used to actually take the center out and put things in there like a meat patty or an egg and just bake it in the oven. You can also just slice it up and just put a little bit of butter and olive oil and then sprinkle it with some fresh herbs like basil.
I've never seen those before, and I certainly wouldn't know how to cook it. You don't peel it or anything.
No,
you just chop it as it is.
Wash it off, slice it up, and bake it. Doesn't take long at all.
And what do we have over here? What is this?
This is one of my favorites. This is called kohlrabi. If you like broccoli and cabbage, it's kind of the same family, and you can use it like coleslaw. You can chop it up very finely and make a coleslaw out of it.
And of course, there's so many farmers markets around. A lot of them are on social media. Is that the best way just to find out what's out there?
Exactly.
Any that you recommend? Any favorites of yours?
They're all good, and they're all going to have their variety. So go local, find the one closest to you and enjoy.
All right. We will. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time this morning, Danette.
Thank you so much for having me.